China's $77 billion mega water transfer projects endanger people, along with the Three Gorges Dam. It's Friday the 28th of January 2022, and this has come to my attention and I would love to share this with you. Another of China's failures, propaganding it to a success. Let me explain. Here are some images of the water transfer project from the south of China to the north of China. And here you can see three of the projects here. You have the eastern route, which has been completed. You have the central route, which has been completed. And you have the planned western route, which hasn't been completed, but is the most dangerous route and incredibly expensive as well. The Three Gorges Dam and the south to north water transfer projects are two of the Chinese Communist Party major operation water resource projects. The construction of the Three Gorges sparked heated debates amongst Chinese scholars in the 1980s, 90s, but in 2000, the south to north water transfer project, which is 2.5 times larger than the Three Gorges project, was launched amidst a wave of silence. In fact, it is an illusion created by the Chinese government even before the project is completed. It has shown that its potential damages are even worse than the Three Gorges project. In the 7 years since it was fully commissioned, nearly 50 billion cubic meters of water has been transferred to the north, benefiting 140 million people, optimizing the economic development for more than 40 large and medium-sized cities. So, here's the question. Why, in the last 20 years, has this new project been initiated? And the third one, the most dangerous, going through water tunnels, going through very high mountains, the people who are going to build the whole thing, is it being done? Well, the north is in a drought. The north has the worst water pollution in China. Perhaps, maybe, out of context and no evidence with this, in the world. Why? Man. Why? Chinese government. Why? Lack of care and protection of the environment during the early part of this century. China developed really fast, and one of the main reasons it didn't really care about the environment. In fact, in the early part of this century, we didn't know much about the environment, to be really honest with us. But it's all caught up with us now. And the water in the northern parts are becoming dry, polluted, unusable. Why? Because a lot of big companies did use water as industrial waste just to flow into the sea. The old saying, out of sight, out of mind. And because of all this economic development and lack of environmental ways, so to speak, this is what is needed. It's an incredibly expensive thing to promote. Now, $77 billion. This is twice the expense of the corrupt Three Gorges Dam. So again, you could imagine a lot of officials are going to be incredibly rich and run off to Tahiti, Fiji, the Maldives or the Maldives, the Seychelles, and live the life of Raleigh, or invest in property around the world and then escape when things get tough in China. Really? How much did it really cost? No one will know. The transparency is not going to be released. And unlike other countries where files can be released after a certain period of time, I think China will just destroy the facts and figures. So the only people will know, will possibly be the only people who have passed away. I couldn't think of an idiom for that bit, sorry. So this money, where does it come from? Well, first of all, you could $6.3 billion are coming from the central government. The other 70 billion is coming from the loans from a bank. And the money from the bank is from the people who have invested in the bank. So if they ask for a large withdrawal, you could say it's not going to happen. Never put your money into any kind of Chinese bank. Always do something non-related. I would even say HSBC as a piece of advice. Trucks dump rocks across the remaining section of a diversion canal linked to the Yangtze River as workers prepare to dam the mighty Yangtze in southwest China. This is way back in 2002, November 2002. Marking another stage of the completion of the controversial Three Gorges Dam project. The front of the flag-waving crowd, workers and dignitaries. A series of trucks dumped rocks across the remaining section. This aerial photograph was taken on 19th of August 2020. Shows a flood area in China's southwestern Chongqing. Floods in mountainous southwest have washed away rocks and forced tens of thousands of people from their homes, with authorities warning on August a giant Three Gorges Dam was facing the largest flood peak in history. Okay, so how does this water transfer project endanger the lives of people? You may be asking yourself, and is it a little bit of clickbait? The same way as the Three Gorges Dam is a possibility. The Three Gorges, the biggest, the heaviest, the largest, the fattest in the world, holds back 1 trillion billion tons of water, releases very little. It's a gravity dam, so this amount of water pushing onto it, which only can reach a certain level, which hasn't yet. I think it's 81 billion tons of water pressure, whatever that is, and it's got up to 61 in the year 2020, so getting close to 2 years ago. That's the Three Gorges. These canals are from the south to the north. Water normally flows from the west to the east in China. Why suddenly in the last 20 years? Because we discussed that about 2 or 3 minutes ago. The man's eagerness to get a lot of money. Yeah. An old saying from one General Secretary in China, President Peng, not President General Secretary Peng, said, let's get rich. This is one of the ways of the disasters in China. What happens if one of these dams collapse with 1 billion tons of water flushing into there with very little warning? Obviously, there is the kind of security in a way that they do have some ways that they can stop, they can block, but if it's too much, that's going to be overthrown. It's something that we need to keep an eye on. It's something that China says it's a wonderful success, like the Three Gorges, but it is early days. We always think, and China has a bad reputation of the TOEFL buildings, TOEFL construction, that it looks good, it's all shiny and fantastic and new. Give it another 20 years. The maintenance is not the best in the world. Why now is the Three Gorges Dam only producing a tiny amount of electricity? Bad maintenance, and the water level should be going down, but they're not. These giant canals, the eastern, the central, and the soon-to-be western, is just going to cause big problems. I mean, super big. And you sometimes do, or you should do, feel sorry for the people who just live there. It's not their fault. It can bring prosperity to where it's needed. Beijing, a northern city, the capital of China. And I'm going to leave you now with all the images and the pictures that I have collected over this little topic with the Three Gorges and also the south to north water transfer project, the $77 billion project. And I'm sure some officials are very happy with their kickback. My name is James. Thank you for your time. Here are the pictures.